eyes if feeling kind of vulnerable. But close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And we're just going to take some time to just check in with our body and really start to notice where we're at. So if you're sitting in a chair, I'd like for you to notice how your body is feeling on the chair or bed, wherever you are right now. Notice your back pushed against the surface that you're sitting on. Notice how your legs feel supported by the chair wherever you're sitting. You can notice your feet on the ground, maybe. Really trying to just ground ourselves in our body. I want you to notice where your breathing is at, what you're coming in with. Are you taking soft, deep breaths, or is your breathing restricted in any way? Is your breathing rapid and shallow? We'd like for everyone to get to a place where we're taking slow, deep, regulated breaths, but at first that's not always accessible to us. So we just want to notice where we're at. That's a big part of mindfulness, is noticing with non-judgmental awareness where we're at in our bodies. And your breath is always something you can return to during a mindfulness experience. It's always there for you. If you feel your mind racing or wandering, you can come back to recognizing your breath and your breathing. So I want you to take some intentional, deeper breaths here and exhale slowly, slower than your inhale. So breathing in, hold for a moment, and then exhale slowly, nice and slow, slower than that inhale again. Let's do one more breath with this intention. Breathing in from the deepest part of your belly, holding that breath for a moment, and then releasing slowly. Imagining that your breathing is sort of crashing over like a wave. Let's do one more. You're breathing, you're riding that wave, you're going to hold it for a moment, and then the wave crashes. I'd also like you to take note if you notice anything in your body that's feeling like a point of discomfort at the moment, or anywhere where you're maybe holding stress or tension, anything like that. For me at this moment, I'm noticing my back kind of calling to me a little bit in a certain spot. So if you're noticing a certain part of your body, please feel free to kind of gently stretch or move that part just to get yourself a bit more comfortable if you can. And if it's something like a migraine symptom, try to breathe into that place in your body. Imagine yourself breathing in and releasing whatever pain or tension or discomfort is there. And now I'd like to take a moment to kind of reflect on where things are at for you in your day, in your week, maybe in your life right now. And I'm going to ask you a question to reflect on for our time together. And this question is what us therapists often call the miracle question. So, this is the question. You may know it if you've been asked this before. So, I'd like you to imagine that you're sleeping and you're feeling well rested, and you wake up and you have a realization that the problems in your life have been solved. It's as if a miracle has happened. So, this you wake up with this feeling like everything's feeling okay. There's some sort of miracle that's happened. And I'd like to know, how would you know that a miracle had happened? What would be different about your life? What would it be that would be solved for you if this miracle had taken place and you woke up feeling like things were just feeling okay? Take a moment, maybe right away you can kind of identify something, or maybe it'll take a moment. Often what comes up for us during this question is an answer of maybe what you want your life to look like, or a vision that you have for yourself. So it's interesting to consider this. And once you identify maybe what it is that you really wish could be different, or something that you'd like to see change in your life, I'd like you to, again, pause with this, recognize it, and take another few breaths here. We're going to keep returning to our breath with those slow exhales that we were practicing. And I want you to consider and maybe visualize, if you're a visual person, or maybe just think for a moment about what comes to you if you're someone who processes things through words, or maybe there's sounds or other things that might come up depending on who you are. There's no right or wrong, but I'd like you to consider for a moment, is there anything holding me back right now from this vision that I have, or from these things that I'm wanting, these goals that I have? Is there anything that I'm holding on to, anything that I would like to release or let go of right now in order to move forward, to feel like I can have the things that I want? Take a moment to consider this. What's holding you back? Is there a fear, or something stressful, or maybe it's the voice of someone in your life that's critical, or something, perhaps some kind of feeling, or maybe some way that you're feeling stuck? And I'd like you to just take a moment and acknowledge whatever this could be that might be holding you back. It's okay to acknowledge these things. And we're just going to sit with it for a moment, and we're going to breathe, and we're just going to acknowledge whatever it is that comes up for us is okay. Take another breath. Slow exhale. Maybe some of these factors are out of our control, or maybe there are things that we feel as though we can change and take some ownership over. Whatever it is that you feel might be holding you back, please, in this moment right now, take a pause to recognize that you're doing the best that you can with whatever the circumstances are at hand for you. You're doing the best that you can, even if it's getting through the day, coping with whatever you're experiencing, you keep showing up, you keep trying. And maybe some of these things can't change, but through acknowledgement and acceptance and looking at these things, we can sort of sit with them, breathe through them, bring us back to ourselves, and cultivate some more internal strength for ourselves to get through whatever it might be, big or small hurdles that we experience in life. And so we've thought about, what is it that we really want? What is it that would look like a miracle in our lives if it happened, if we woke up and our problems were solved, right? And then we're looking at, what is it that might be kind of holding us back, keeping us in place? And we're trying to approach this with some compassion for ourselves, recognizing that we're doing the best we can to make our goals a reality for ourselves, whatever they might be. And this is the last question I have for you to reflect on during our time together is, what is it that I need right now? Can you visualize or consider in any way that works for you? What is it that I need? Is this something tangible that you can give to yourself or that someone can help you with, someone in your life that cares about you? Or is it just giving yourself some grace and compassion to know that you're doing your best? Or maybe just giving yourself a little bit of positive energy to know that it's going to be okay regardless of the outcome. Whatever it might be for you, again, coming back to your breath, see if you can now sit with this thing that you need and see if you can internalize that for yourself, whether it's something you need to hear or maybe something that you'd like to do for yourself this evening or in the coming weeks. Make a little intention or commitment to yourself to try and see if you can make space for whatever it is that you need. See if you can set this intention. And maybe part of what we all need is just this moment to check in with ourselves, just to be present and to kind of acknowledge what's going on. Take another breath or two, slow exhale. When you feel like you're ready, you are able to open your eyes, you can move your body, come back to your room that you're in, the space that you're in with us together tonight. And now we'll take a moment to reflect on this with some creativity or to continue the meditation. If you just want to sit quietly for yourself, if that was really helpful for you, you're welcome to do that. I'd like to invite you to um, now take whatever art supplies that you brought to the meeting. For me, I have my sketchbook here. This is the one I always use for our meetings together. And I'd like you to start with whatever your chosen material is. I'd like you to see if there's any way that you could reflect on some piece of what you experienced during the meditation and put that in a visual form. Might be a specific symbol or something that came up for you that you might try to represent through the art medium that you chose in some way. Or it could just be exploring the materials with a non judgmental attitude, similar to what we were experiencing with the meditation, and just seeing what comes up for you. There's really no right or wrong. It's really important to remind ourselves of that as we enter a creative experience because inner criticism can lurch in. And I'd like for you to take the next 7 or 8 minutes or so and just try to explore this art material for yourself. I'd like you to see what comes up. I'm going to mute myself for a moment so we can spend some time together in silence. And please continue to breathe and practice that as well as you're creating for yourself, okay? I will check in with you in just a moment. You need to take another few minutes to express whatever it is that you're working on. I'd like to also say if there's any words or phrases or intentions that come up for you, please feel free to write those down. Any reflections, all of that's really important stuff. We'll go for another few minutes. This is just giving us a taste of what the art making process can be like. And you can continue with this also after we're done our session. I would really invite you to continue even at another time. Just take another few minutes or so to finish up. All right, now find a good place to stop for the time being. I know sometimes that can be hard. And I'd like to invite everyone to come back to our space together. And I like to open it up for a few moments to see if there's anything that anyone would like to share. Certainly no obligation to, but if there's anything you'd like to offer to the group about what you experienced, or if you'd like to show the thing that you created, you're welcome to do that now. You can unmute yourself if you'd like.
Yeah, I put something in the chat that came to mind that
Mhm.
I've learned recently um, about the topic of today.
Okay, great. Let me see if I can look at the chat real quick. All right, brings to mind some recent training I've experienced, which is to acknowledge giving to ourselves self-compassion with the same level of compassion that we give to others, to ourselves, as we deserve to do this and not feel guilty about it. Yeah, thank you. That's absolutely true. That's definitely part of the essence of what we're trying to get across with the mindfulness series, is that we definitely deserve the same level of compassion that we so easily can provide to others at times, but not for ourselves. It's a really good point. Anything
It's
else?
sometimes difficult to achieve, but it's important that we do.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, sometimes the work is just in the process of trying to achieve it. And I'd say that if you're trying to have compassion for yourself, or give yourself that kindness, then that's an accomplishment, even if it's hard to do that. Anybody else?
Yeah, I wanted to share actually. It's been a while since I've actually spoke in the group, so I figured I would go tonight. Um,
Cool.
I think one thing for me, I have a lot of things that are happening for me right now, things that are changing. And I'm working on various aspects of my life, including trying to get migraine and neurological issues more manageable. getting
Mm.
stressed down, feeling better. Um, I've lived in Denver for quite some time in a condo in an apartment surrounded by not the best situation with neighbors and things. And my migraines, a lot of them are triggered by environmental stress. So more so than hormones and things, like some, mine are more environmentally based. So being where I am is not conducive to my health. So there's so many changes. I'm actually closing on a house in about 5, 6 days in Ohio, where I'm originally from. Um, because I've
Wow.
come, yeah, and I've come to terms that I have to take accountability and make changes that I need to protect myself and my health. So when we did the meditation, I envisioned almost like this being wrapped in like this really soft protective like curtain.
Mm,
Um and I don't know if this is significant, but the colors were like blue and gray. And
mm,
it's as if I was hanging there wrapped in this really soft protective curtain, and it felt really good. It felt cool to the skin. It felt soft. And as we were going through the meditation, I envisioned myself coming out of this curtain as if it was like a cocoon
mm,
into like a new fresh space that was cool and felt good, and I felt good, and my body felt good, and my mind felt
mm,
better. The pain was away. It was as if I was being birthed again, but as
mm,
an adult, as me now, but lacking the pain, lacking the stress, lacking the problems, um, lacking the noise, just being
mm,
born again as me now with all of that melting away, um, into this new space where I can actually feel better and
mm.
not have stress. And I drew a little curtain and actually journaled about it as well, like after the meditation. So I just wanted to
Wow.
share that. I think that a lot of these changes that are going on have their own stress, but I think at the end, the message that I'm getting is that everything's gonna work out and I'm gonna feel peace again.
Mm.
I'm not gonna share walls with people anymore, which is gonna really help my health in my head. Yeah, there's
Wow.
there's just a lot to it, and it's a big change. I don't necessarily want to leave Colorado, but I'm also happy to be able to go home and be close to family and friends that care about me so I can have camaraderie again
Yeah.
and support and all of that. So, yeah, that's what I
Wow.
what I experienced today. So thank you for that meditation. That was beautiful.
Wow. Yeah, well, thank you for offering that to the group. That it sounds like it was a very powerful experience for you, and um, I wish you the best of luck with the move and everything. It sounds like this is a really positive direction. It's very inspiring, thinking about taking ownership of our own circumstances and life, and really, really trying to work on these things, really trying to help ourselves. It's not always easy. So it sounds like it's a really positive direction to go. And the visualization that you offered is really beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. I
Thank you.
know, I know we are past time, but is there anything else
Yes,
that you'd like to share?
yes.
Go ahead, Leslie. Yep.
Well, I've had art therapy groups before, and in 2022 they ended, but I see an art intern. She's getting her master's in art therapy and we're going up for till she's done with her internship in August. She graduates in December. Art therapy's been helpful. I've had music therapy before too. And I was
Great.
thinking about tomorrow will be 6 years since my mom had passed away from stomach cancer. I was thinking about her and probably play the song tomorrow and stuff. They wrote with her
Hmm.
therapy intern back last year.
Wow. Yeah, it sounds like it
Oh, I was
brought
just
back some
calling
memories.
because it's Alicia
Yeah.
Frank's adult coloring book.
Great. So you worked on that during our time together. That's great.
Yeah,
Excellent. Well, I'm glad that you're here today and that you enjoyed the experience. Is there anything
no,
else before we end?
no.
Christine, one last offering for us?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I really like this mindfulness series, and
Mhm.
it feels very soothing on my migraine brain and my nervous system. I think it's a perfect combination of the meditation, mindfulness, and then the art. You know, in our lives, we get so much top-down stuff, a lot of talking, therapy, support groups, writing emails to doctors, compiling symptoms, whatever. So, you know, the bottom-up approach, which those of us, you know, who are familiar with, you know, more trauma training and psychology issues, that's what actually regulates our nervous system. So I just wanted to say you put
Yes.
the perfect program for the migraine brain and for nervous system regulation. It's exactly, you know, what our brains embody. Perfect. So thank you so much.
You're spot on, Christine. I love it. Yes. So the embodied approach is always, I think, going to be helpful to our nervous systems for sure. And I love that Miles for Migraine offers this. It's really valuable. All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap up. Thank you, everybody, for
June.
attending. Of course.
Thank you so much. It was, I ditto Christine, what she said,
Mhm.
about this, this evening. And I will pass that information along, Christine, so thank you for mentioning that.
Great. All right. Well, have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
See you in a few weeks.
All
Yeah.
right. Take
Stop
care.
by.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Thanks, Jen.
Bye.
Thank you.